Our life together, a picture-perfect marriage. My wife, Emma, 32F, and I, 34M, have been married for 8 years. We met in college, fell in love quickly, and the rest was history. I proposed after 2 years of dating, and we married shortly after. Life was good. We bought a house, got a dog, and I thought we were living the dream. Looking back now, I can see where things started to change, but at the time, I brushed it off as normal. You don't expect the person you love the most to be capable of betrayal, especially after you've built a life together. 4 years, we had a strong connection. We supported each other through thick and thin. We didn't have kids yet, but we were planning to start trying soon. Emma is a teacher, and I work in tech, so our schedules didn't always align perfectly, but we made time for each other. At least, we used to. The first red flags: work, friendships. It all started a year ago when Emma started talking more about a co-worker, Jason. She'd mention him casually, saying things like, "Jason helped me with a lesson plan," or "Jason and I grabbed lunch because we were swamped with grading." At first, it seemed harmless. I trusted her completely, and I wasn't the jealous type. But over time, the mentions of Jason became more frequent. She started staying late at work more often, and when I'd ask why, she'd say something like, "We are working on a big project," or "Jason and I were brainstorming some ideas for the students." I didn't think much of it at first. I know how demanding her job can be, and she's always been dedicated to her work. But then came the night I found out the truth. The night it all came crashing down. I'll never forget that night. It was a Friday, and I'd come home from work exhausted. I figured we'd have dinner, maybe watch a movie, and relax. But when I walked in the door, Emma wasn't there. No note, no text explaining why she wasn't home. I waited. An hour passed, then 2, still nothing. I texted her, asking where she was, and she replied with something vague. "Just grabbing drinks with some colleagues. I'll be home soon." At this point, I was getting annoyed. She usually told me when she was going out, and this felt off, but I didn't want to be that guy who gets all paranoid and controlling, so I let it slide. She didn't come home until nearly midnight. When she walked through the door, I could smell alcohol on her breath. But that wasn't what worried me. It was the look on her face, a mix of guilt and fear, like she'd been caught doing something she knew was wrong. I asked her how her night was, and she gave me the usual rundown. It was fine, just work talk, you know, but something in me snapped. I don't know if it was the way she avoided eye contact, or how distant she'd been lately. But I pressed her for more information. "Who were you with?" I asked. She hesitated, and then she said, "Just some people from work." "Was Jason there?" I asked, and her face changed. She got defensive immediately. "Why does it matter if he was there? He's just a friend." But it mattered. It mattered a lot. The confrontation, uncovering the truth. I tried to let it go, but I couldn't shake the feeling that something was wrong. The next day, while she was in the shower, I did something I'm not proud of. I checked her phone. I know, invasion of privacy, but at that point, I needed answers. And there they were, hundreds of messages between her and Jason, flirty, emotional, and some that were downright explicit. My heart sank. The worst part was that this had been going on for months, right under my nose. When she got out of the shower, I confronted her immediately. I showed her the messages and asked, "What is this? What's going on with you and Jason?" She broke down in tears and confessed, They'd been seeing each other for about 6 months. It started as an emotional affair, long talks after work, venting about life and their jobs. Then it escalated. They started meeting up outside of work, first for drinks, then for something more. I felt like my entire world had been ripped apart. I couldn't believe the woman I loved, the woman I trusted with everything, had betrayed me like this. The aftermath, trying to make sense of it all. That night was a blur. She kept apologizing, saying it was a mistake, that she never meant to hurt me, that she still loved me and wanted to work things out. But I was numb. I didn't know what to think or feel. I stayed at a friend's house for a few days to clear my head. During that time, I couldn't stop replaying everything in my mind. How had I missed the signs? Was it my fault? Could we ever fix this? We've had some tough conversations since then. She claims she's ended things with Jason and wants to go to counseling. She insists that she wants to save our marriage, but I don't know if I can ever trust her again. Every time I look at her, I see her with him, and it kills me. Where do I go from here? I'm still trying to figure out what to do. Part of me wants to believe her, to work through this and rebuild what we had, but another part of me feels like that trust is gone forever. How do you move past something like this? Can a marriage survive after such a betrayal? I'm not sure if I want advice or just a place to vent. If anyone has been through something similar, how did you handle it? Can you ever truly forgive someone after they cheat? Right now, I'm just taking it one day at a time.